Alright, so in this video we're going to go over installing the newest version of Fluxion, which is Fluxion 5. Just a brief little description. Fluxion is a security auditing and social engineering research tool. Essentially what you can do with it is evil twins. You can bump people off WPA, WPA2, and attempt to get their Wi-Fi passwords. It's a very useful tool. We're going to go over a few things here, but so just to start off with how to install it, we're going to do a clone, correction, we're going to do a git, G-I-T, space clone, C-L-O-N-E, and then you're going to want to type this address in. It's going to be https://fluxion.network/fluxion.git. If you have any issues with the git command like I had, watch my other video. I'll have a link down below. If you're running a bare bones basic version of Kali, you may not have git installed. So if you get a git command bash, command not found, watch that video, quick install, and we'll get you back up and running. So we'll go ahead and enter. It's cloning Fluxion. There it is. Pretty quick. It's not too big. Maybe a total of 32 meg. So there it is. It's done. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to do a CD. Let's do an LS. Let's show you everything. So here's where we're at right now in our root folder. And we see we now have a Fluxion folder in our root. So we're going to do CD, FLU, tab. There's Fluxion. I'm doing LS. Unlike other versions of Fluxion, you don't need to run the install. As you can see, there isn't one. However, we are going to go ahead and run it, and I'll show you what happens here. So we're going to do a ./FLU tab. Make sure it's .fluxion or fluxion.sh. Enter. It's going to go ahead and load it. See, we're on version 5, and we are missing some dependencies here. And so to do that, missing dependencies, try installing using fluxion/.i. So let's go ahead and try that and see what we get. ./FLU tab. We're going to do a -i. Enter. Okay, so let's go back through it again, checking everything. Now it's reading our package list, and it's building our dependencies. Okay, so it's finding everything that we didn't have according to this package list, and it's using our source list we have to get the missing pieces. And we'll see if we have to edit any of that. Hopefully we don't have to change anything in our source list. There you go. It's thinking about it. Okay, took a minute, but it finally found everything, or at least it started building stuff. You see our progress is 50, 83. Now it's completed. Okay. Well, it's thinking again. There it goes. Looks like it's rebuilding the tree. Okay. So, okay, we had 3 missing, I believe, so it's probably going to do this for 3 times. This is the second time. And it's done. And it's probably going to move to the next one. There's the 3rd one. Hopefully we won't have this happen anymore. Okay, looks like it found everything. Yep, okay, just checked all the dependencies and we're good. So if that happens to you, if you're missing anything, just do that ./fluxion.sh -i, and it will finish building all your missing dependencies as long as that source list is accurate. If you can't find it, watch my other video on updating the Kali source list. If you have a bare bones version of Kali, you're not going to have any sources, so you can't do any updates like we just did. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so we finished installing it, and we select our language here. So we're going to run English. So 5. Okay, so now the captive portal here is setting up the evil twin. That'll be the second step. first off we need to get our handshake here, which is going to grab the encryption hashes. So I need to run that first, so select a 2. And then we need to, if you know the specific channel, you can run this. I'd rather do all of them, so I'll just run 3. And it's going to go through and scan. They suggest you leave this going for a few seconds, just up until it finds what you're looking for. And here's ours, this 3G wireless router. So that should be good enough. Hit Control-C while you're in this window to close it. It's going to pull in the information. And then here it is. So there's a 3G router. So we'll do 14 to select the number. You don't have to put the 0. I think if you put the 0, it's actually going to confuse it. So just use the last 2 digits here. So 14, enter. Okay, always choose skip unless you're doing something more specific. And if this does pop up, you just want to do a reset attack. Alright, and then we need to go over some of this. So monitor mode will sit here and just wait for someone to connect to capture. A AirPlay deauthentication attack will sit there and send deauthentication packets to the devices connected to your target, hoping that one of them will reconnect eventually and you'll capture the handshake there. So if you're sitting there trying to be stealthy, passive is what you want, but because I own this router and it's okay, I'm going to do aggressive, speed things up. Alright, again here, this kind of depends on your device. I have had no luck using the cow patty verification method. I sat here for a half hour, couldn't get it to work, could never get the handshake. You could see the handshake but could never crack the hash. Pry verification is what's working for me. So that's what we're going to use for now. We're going to go 1. And then how often do you want it to look? 30 seconds is good. And then synchronous. Again, you can choose asynchronous if you have a dedicated fast machine. This is a virtual box, so we're using limited resources here. Alright, so here's our handshake. Okay, and nothing's coming up yet. So what it's trying to do is trying to kick off every machine connected to the router, and once it reconnects, it's going to try and capture the handshake. You'll see the captured handshake pop up here in a second. Alright, should be coming up sometime now. There it goes. Okay. Found something. You can see I found the handshake. And then once it has it, down here you'll see a pop-up and some yellow and blue text saying that it's been detected. There it is. Okay. Handshake snooper found. Okay. So from here, just hit Control-C to close that out. And we are done with our handshake snooper. It found our hash. So we're going to hit we're going to hit 1 to select another attack. If you hit exit, it's going to actually exit out of Fusion entirely. So just hit a 1 to select the different attack. Alright, so now we're back here to our attack selector. Now that we have our handshake, we're going to do the captive portal / evil twin. So choose a 1. You can select the same target. Basically, it just won't take you through the whole process of recapturing everything, but just for demonstration purposes, we're going to tell it no. So we'll go through every step here. So 3, choosing all channels again. It's going to start scanning. Bring it over. Wait for a few seconds till it finds your device. So there it is. And we'll hit Control-C to close out the window. And pick it out again. So it looks like we're 11 this time. So 1, 1. Enter. And again, skip. Unless you're doing more specific stuff. And we're going to reset the attack. And then here, it's axing what USB device we want. So this is my Ethernet controller for the virtual machine and this is the wireless device is what we're going to need. So we're going to hit 2. Yours will probably say something different. Just make sure you want to use your wireless device. So enter. And then now we're going to want to set up the rogue AP with host APD. So 1. And now we want to use hash found. So hit 1. Okay. And then selecting the verification method. So now because we're using the hash, if we go back, we're using the hash that we found with the pry. If we try to use it with cow patty, it won't work. So just to show you, 3, invalid hash. So you need to make sure you use the same hash for the same type of attack. So we're going to go back to pry. Okay, and then here in a second, you can start seeing some windows pop up. Oh, we got to select our SSL cert. I always like to try to detect. Usually doesn't work. Didn't find anything, so we'll just create one. It's going to pull in a list. And I want to do the disconnect method. Typically, you can just use a basic one. What this will actually do, it will actually mimic the type of router you select here. So by chance, if they do actually go into the router's IP address, they will get the same interface as a ASUS router, a Binklin, a Cisco router. But again, for just some generic purposes, we're going to use the generic one for 07. So we'll just hit 7, enter. Okay, and now the windows are popping up. You should get quite a few of them, 6 in total. And now what will happen is it's going to create a whole separate interface, and it will disconnect you from the original one and link and automatically have your device log in to the fake one. And if we go to the internet, we refresh, it's going to ask us for an access key here. So if we just type in some fake stuff, try that. Nothing happened. You see our attempts went up, but didn't work. And just for again, demonstration purposes, we're going to try again with a fake one. Connect. And again, our attempts failed once more. Now we're going to go and type in the real one. And you'll see success. Key found. It shuts everything down. So if the your target, like, okay, well, it says accessing. So if we just go to, okay, well, I'm going to Google now, it appears like it works, because the old access point that we were connected to is off. If we come back here, let's refresh that. Oh, it's not connecting automatically. My phone acts up sometimes. There it goes. So yeah, it should connect automatically back to your old device. And so it would appear that, oh, they typed in their password and Google was now working as intended. And you now have their Wi-Fi password. For whatever reason, if you ever lose this, or if you close it and you're like, oh crap, I need that, it's actually saved in your Fusion folder. Fusion attacks. You can get the handshake. It's in the handshake folder here. And in the captive portal, you can get the net log, and you can get the handshake of that. You just open up in a text editor. You can go through Nano, path out to it, and get to it, and it'll have additional information, but it'll still have that login information there. So that's Fusion. Yeah, if you have any other questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll try to help when I can. Thank you for watching. Links to any tools can be found down below.
Please leave a comment if these tips did or did not help you, or if you'd like to see a video on another topic. Thank you for watching.